Let's return to our conversation with Springbok Women's top point scorer, Libbie Janse van Rensburg. South Africa are preparing for the Women's Rugby World Cup. For South Africa gets underway on Sunday against Brazil in Northampton. In fact, they play all of their Pool D fixtures in Northampton. It's first Brazil, then it's Italy, and then it's France. Libbie, we've got you back online. Can you just tell us how the preparations have been going? How are you guys feeling ahead of Brazil?
It's been going really well. I think even if you look at, before departing for this tournament, the last game that we had against the Ferns 15s, it was such a good confidence booster for the team. And I think everything's starting to fall in place quite nicely. Everyone has clarity in terms of what their roles are. And we're just really excited. I think we just want to get going now.
Yeah, you guys have had a really good build-up. A lot of players getting an opportunity, which made it very difficult for the coach to cut it down to 32 players. But how important has that build-up been for the team? And importantly, that fixture against Canada, a top-ranked team in the world, number 2 in the world. South Africa just getting 1 try, but just that experience of going up against them and how you guys were able to turn those lessons around in that 2-match series against the Black Ferns Invitational team.
I think that was just like the first step in us sort of solidifying the foundation that our team's trying to lay. At that time, we hadn't really played against such tough competition. So I think it's very good for us to be able to gauge ourselves against that and to just come to terms with the reality of what, international rugby is like, especially when you're playing against those top teams. It's not the same as an Africa Cup, for example. So just to get a taste of that, getting some goals, getting more game time for the girls as well, getting more girls exposed to that kind of intensity on a pitch is very, very vital for our team.
Yeah, and what do you say is the team's goal for this Women's Rugby World Cup? You guys haven't ended higher than 10th spot at this major tournament. What is this team's goals and how have you guys been preparing for that?
I think at the moment we're just focusing on taking it one game at a time. No one's trying to look too far ahead, of course, but I think the writing is on the wall. We want to make a quarterfinals. We believe we can make a quarterfinals, but the hard work is just starting for us now. We can't just want it or believe that it's going to happen. We have to put in the grind. We have to put in the work when we're on the field now. So now is when it's really going to become crunch time for us.
Yeah, you say put in that grind. Tell us a little bit about that grind. How much time in the gym?
So obviously when we're in competition, it's a little bit less time. It's more clarity work, not so much time on your feet, which is nice in a sense. We have already put in so much work in Stellenbosch camps throughout the year where the team came together. We have sweat together, we've died together, the girls trust each other. There's something about going to a dark place with a team that really makes you united. And I think we've definitely ticked all those boxes.
Yeah, women's rugby is in a really good space at the moment. You play with our only professional women's rugby team in South Africa with the Bulls Daisies. But it seems as if what you guys do at this Rugby World Cup will determine a lot of the trajectory of the game in South Africa. Do you guys feel the same way?
No, absolutely. I think we have an opportunity to really change the setting for women's rugby in South Africa. If we can come out of this victorious in our eyes or just, get into the pool stages, I think it's really going to change the trajectory of women's rugby in South Africa. And that's what we have to do now.
Yeah, and how do you guys mentally balance that women's rugby hasn't had quite the development that the men's game has? So you always have this comparison with the male team, who obviously back-to-back world champions, and you guys really trying to break into the top 6 in the world.
I think at this moment, we're all very much aware that we are the pioneers in the sport. We are the ones that are laying the foundation for the future generation. Yes, we are getting to reap some of the rewards now, but there's still a lot of work for us to be done. I mean, our game in South Africa isn't as old as, for instance, in England or as our men. I mean, our men have been playing for how many more years than the ladies? So it's going to take time. We know we have to be patient, and we just ask that South Africa is patient with us as well. Eventually, when we have the breakthrough, it's going to be great.
You guys are actually playing this Rugby World Cup in the home of rugby. I mean, the game of rugby comes from this little town in England called Rugby, where it was said that a football was picked up for the very first time and then it was run with and the game was actually born. So you're at a place where you've got the number 1 team in the world, England, who are hosting the tournament. What is it like to play in front of those kinds of crowds that really appreciate the women's game and have this really deep knowledge of women's rugby specifically?
I think firstly, just looking at the numbers that come out to the stadiums, it's something that we not used to back home. I think women's sport, not just women's rugby, but women's sport here in Europe. I mean, if you look at the women's Euros, the soccer, what records they've been managing to break, the records that have been broken now with ticket sales for this World Cup. I think this country is it takes so well to women's sport, and it's so excited to be part of this growth and this change. And it's something that I hope will filter into South Africa. But with that said, we have to do good here for that to happen.
Yeah, and what do you have to say to those that say that rugby is just for the men?
I'll say it's not for everyone, but definitely give it a go. It's worth a shot, and I think it's quite exciting, actually.